Hello. Hopefully everyone can hear me okay and everything's working as it should be. And hopefully the music's not too loud. If it is, just give me a shout in chat. We'd like to keep music a bit going during question time, as it can go a bit silent. I've got chat open over the window over here. And so if you're first time here at question time, this is a chance for you to ask any question you like about game development, Unreal Engine 4, myself, whatever you want to know really. And I'll do my best to answer your question, okay, in the time we do have. So first things first, a bit of promotional stuff. So if you want to see a weekly question time, head over to my Patreon, patreon.com/Ryan Daly, where the current goal is if we reach 400 patrons, you'll get a weekly version of this show every single week on top of the regular live streams we do tonight. Okay, so you'll get 2 live streams a week. And we're quite close. I think we're only like 15 people away from 400. So head over there right now, donate just $1 and you get access to all the videos ahead of time as well and help us get to that goal. Some of the videos that patrons have right now are the FPS RPG series. There's about 10 videos of that. The rest of the Media AI series, there's more coming for that as well. Crafting series, the start of the skill system, teleportation, loads of lighting videos, loads of one-offs as well. There's quite a lot on there. I think I worked out the other day. It's about 30 videos up on there that patrons have before anyone else. So if you want to watch those videos right now, head over to patreon.com/Ryan Daly. Second business. My voice is very low, and it might be because I'm quite far away from the mic. Let me move my mic a bit closer. The other second bit of business as well is it is very hot today. Today is like a heat wave in the UK. So apologies if you see sweat on me or if I glisten. I'm trying to look as cool as possible. But anyway. Oh, and sorry, third order of business. Next week I am interviewing one of the game designers from the game Fall Guys, which came out this week and been super successful. So if you have any questions you want to ask about game design, about Fall Guys, about anything in industry related to that area, send it over to an email at podcast@ryandaly.com and I'll ask the game designers there on the podcast. So that's being recorded early next week, so expect the video / podcast release for that later that week. So if I'm interviewing a game designer, so if you want to know what a game designer does or anything specific, let us know in that email and I'll get them answered for you. Okay. As part of this channel, I wanted to give you guys a voice in the industry, so get you guys answers that you want to know, because I'm assuming that a lot of you are students or people interested in getting into the industry. So if you want things answered, I'm your man. I can get those answers for you. So let us know in that email if you want something checked out. Anyway, on to tonight's show. So tonight I can see we've got a few questions coming through already. Ian asking, yes, I have got the Fall Guys. I've been playing it the past couple of nights. I'm very bad at it, but I haven't yet won a crown yet. But yeah. Who else we got here? So we've got not my email. Hello, Surian73, Genius Lights AR. Hello, Ivan. Hello, Doug Duncan. Hello everyone. PC Xbox. Hello, absolutely every single person. By the way, if you do ask a question in chat and I do miss it, don't worry, just put it in again. I'll try and catch it next time round. So I can see HDG Doom Knight. Hi Ryan, is it possible to make columns in a text box? For example, when you have a book in a widget, the text splits on both pages in one single text box. I can't seem to find out how. Okay. You want to make columns in a text box. For example, when you have a book in a widget, the text splits on both pages in one single text box. Oh, right, okay. Oh, right, I see what I mean. Yeah. Interesting problem. Okay, so I assume you know about the auto wrap. So you're doing the wrapping, going down one side, but you want it to go, once it gets to the end of that, go to the next column. Interesting. How would you do that? Let's have a look. I haven't done it before, so let's have a look, see how you possibly could do that. So, maybe are we using a wrap box? Is there a setting for wrap boxes anywhere we could do? No. Right, let's just put a text field in it. Let's have a look. Let's have a look for you. Okay, so there's our text block, and you want it to fill out over here into another text block. Okay. I don't think you can do simple columns. I think what you can do instead... how would you do that? So, have it in a horizontal box. So you've got two text columns, like so. How would you do that? There must be a way of getting its length. Let's have a look. So if I make this a variable, can I check its length? If I type in text, let's have a look what options we have available to us. I'm going to untick that. We must have a... No. Must be something in here that gets us the length of the text. How many lines it is or something like that. Oh man, I'm getting all the texture stuff. That's not good. Let's put space. Interesting. It'd probably be far easier just to manually split it. Get text size, width and height of a string. No, that's not going to be it, is it? Have a look. Text box. No. Interesting problem. Yeah, I don't want to spend too long looking for it, as people have got other questions I want to ask. But I imagine you have to get the length of the string. Returns the wrap text size and screen space coordinates. Oh wait, let's have a look what this does. Okay. So if I said, and let's get some lorem ipsum text. Putting a pre-construct there. Target is canvas. That was interesting. Why canvas? We'll chuck a canvas in it then. Oh. Canvas panel object is not equal to canvas object. Oh wait, that's not for that type of canvas. I don't know. I would imagine you have to get the length of the string and do some maths to work out the length of where to cut it, and then copy that text over to the other text box. So I don't want to spend too long on it because I don't know for certain how you do it. Honestly, it'd be far easier to do it manually. I would imagine that's how most games do it in like Skyrim and things like that. Like you could, yeah, get you get in substring, Luke, but you want to know when to cut it. So you'd have to get the length of the wrap box of the text box. But I don't know. We'll have to I'll have to experiment with that. I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, other questions we got. So, Joe King, do you code in C++ as well, or only BP? I have done C++ before, yeah, but I haven't done it for a long time. When I done C++, I weren't doing game stuff with it. I was just doing general software things. Yeah, that's it. I haven't done it for a while. As I've been mostly just doing blueprints because that's the nature of what I just teach. Hi Ryan, could you please show us how to get a rounded value to 2 decimal places? For example, whenever I try and get random float above 20, it gives me something like 34 point. Yep, okay, sure, can do that. So you get a random float, and there was no, hang on, random. There was an option here. Oh no, where was it? It was no. Oh my god, I've done this before. What was it? Where was it? Where was it? Where was it? Where was it? Yeah, can't remember the name of it. God damn. Yes, there is a thing. It's not round. Is it seal? No, it's just these are pure functions. I remember rightly, it's not a pure function. Round. No. Trying to think when I did it. Remember there was you did show the advanced or something, and it showed you it to how many points you wanted it. Floor? No, I don't think Floor had it. No. It was like a show advanced option. It gives you float. Oh. Oh. No. The answer is yes. I just can't bloody find a thing. There's a long way round about it, if you want to know the long way. That's really bothering me now. I can't remember where I found it. The long way about it, if you want to do a certain point, is you just multiply it by 100. So random float gives you, I don't know. Let's get this here. Set. We want a thing here, so let's do that there. So if I did just this random float here, you get this random 0.866 whatever. Okay, I should give it that number. Okay, so you get this randomized value. Oh wait, no, that's it to text. That's when I saw it. Okay, so yes, this is where I saw it. So you change it to text. So when you do it to text, you expand open the advanced options, and you'll see minimum integral digits, maximum integral digits, minimum fractional digits, and maximum fractional digits there. So, for example, if I set the text here, and you could do it like change that to, I don't know, 10, and now get 10 digits. Okay, and if you want to change that back to a float, you can just type in to float, surely, to string, to float, string to float. There you go. So that is one way about it. Okay, to text. There you go. Otherwise, you could multiply it by 10 to the power of whatever, and then you divide it by whatever you want, and then you get the points. Anyway, that's it. Okay, so that's how you would get around that. Oh yeah, I see CN05 and my emails. No, CN05. Yep, 10 to the power number. Yep, decimal places the amount divided by 10 to the. Yep, that's it. So there's something coming through. Sorry if I miss it. Ian. Hey, I'm having a big problem right now with importing objects from Blender to UE4 and making a skeletal mesh, but all the objects aren't one object, they're separate. Please help me, I hate UE4 sometimes. Okay, so when you... what? A skeletal mesh? Right, so if it's a skeletal mesh, all the bones must be connected to a root bone. If you don't have all the bones connected to a root bone, then they come in all as separate things. So you have one root bone that then goes off to all your other parts of your skeletal mesh. Okay, so if you don't have that, that's the issue. If you're importing a static mesh and it's coming in multiple parts, when you do import, let's just import something. I've got to find a model now. Hang on. So if I was to import this, okay. If you expand open the Mesh Show Advanced, you'll see Combine Meshes as an option, and that will combine them into a static mesh. Again, skeletal meshes, they all have to connect to a root bone. That would be the reason why they come in as all separate. Okay, hope that helps Ian, and it makes sense to what you've set up there. Zach Fernandez, hello. Hey, after watching inventory videos, I've wanted to add an inventory system, but haven't exactly figured out how. Any suggestions? After watching videos, you wanted to add... okay, so first thing, whenever you come about designing a system, like an inventory system, first, I'd always recommend plan it on paper first, what you can and can't do with it. So, can items stack, for example? If so, how many? Can items be split? Can there be unique items? Things like that. And then think about what kind of data you need to show as well. Once you've got that part down, it's all a matter of how you display it, because all inventories is just an array. Okay, it's just a list of stuff, and that stuff is how you display it in the game, be it a list, a grid, whatever. And then you put in functions to handle that grid. So, for example, if you want to have stacks, you need a function to organize things into stacks. So you'll read that array, go, okay, I've got 100 pieces of gold, but I need to split them into 2 stacks of 50. So you do 100, you take the amount there is, divided by 50, and that's how many stacks you have, and you just split it out that much. But ultimately, it's an array. Okay, it's an array or a map, depending which way you want to go. Maps are only use maps if your items are unique, and what I mean by that is you're not going to have 2 stacks with the same item. They're just going to be just a list of items. A good example of a map system is like Final Fantasy, where you look at it items, you don't see 2 groups of Phoenix Downs, you only have 1 group of Phoenix Down and then a number next to it. That's a map, okay? If you don't know what maps are, when you make a new variable, you have the option here to change it to a map here. So you'd have something like a name as a map, an integer. So the name would be the name of the item, and integer would be the number of those items, okay? It's either that way, or if you're going to have multiple stacks of stuff, then you need an array. Surian, sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Surian73, hello. Is it possible to run as a standalone project with Composure used for Virtual Reality Studio? Have I missed the first part of that question? Is it possible to run what as standalone? I'm not too sure what you're referring to. Sorry if I'm being dumb. Pharaoh Neturu, hello. How can I retarget a marketplace animations to a Paragon character? Unfortunately, I don't have a Paragon character installed at the moment on this project. I'll have to do a video on retargeting because I don't have the assets installed on here to really do it any justice. Because I only have the arms in this one. I'll make a video on how to do retargeting because people do ask that question quite a bit. The main thing with retargeting is in each skeleton, retarget manager, you need to make sure you got a humanoid rig. I'm assuming you're doing humanoid if you're doing Paragon characters. So humanoid rig, and then you have to go through and name every single one of them. I prefer retarget manager not to be tiny. So you have to make sure the names for all of these are correct. So the route is, you identify the route, and so on and so forth and so forth. And click show advanced and do these ones as well. Make sure you do all of them. That's the easiest way of going about it. That is one step. The other step is that the pose that the character's in matters. Okay, so you want to try and get the pose as much as possible at like for like. So to do that, all you do is you can click on bones and you just reposition them. So here I go clavicle R, and I just rotate the arm and get into the right position. And once I'm happy with that position, I'd want to save it. So in your retarget manager, at the bottom here, you've got manage retarget base pose. And here you just modify pose and use current pose and save it. Okay. So the two things, names for all the bones must match, and the pose must be exact. So if you've got them in A pose, if one character's in T pose, one character's in A pose, the T pose needs to match the A pose exactly. Hands rotated as close as possible. The closer you are, the more accurate the retargeting will be. Anyway, next question. X Draco, hello. What would be the best method to detect elements that are requiring a lot of processing in a project? Okay, so you've got. I'll be doing videos in the future on performance profiling, but one quick way of showing you something is the rendering tool. Okay, so if you go to, I think it's show, and which one was it? It was where was it? Maybe it's lit. Shader complexity. Click on this, yeah, and what it does once it finishes compile shaders, if it's going to be a quick render, it marks it as green. Okay, so if things are easy to render, they'll be green, and the pinker they are, the harder they are to render. So these will be things that are like got a lot of refractions or reflections, things that have got loads of vertices, they'll be pinker. So let's try and show an example of this. If I check out the lit, make material. Let's make something really stupid here. Make that a translucent material with a refraction index of say 100. Base color of blue. Opacity of 0.5, and we'll put that emissive as well. And we'll make this two-sided as well. So really dumb material. Could be a lot dumber, but we'll do that there. And hopefully this will be complex enough to show. If I was to put this on, say, these arms here. This one. Doing this thing here. So that's on the gun there. So the gun's got that stupid material, okay? It's got quite a few vertices and this weird material on it. So if I change that to optimization view mode to shader complexity, And it should hopefully be a darker shade, or be closer to red, because that would require a bit more complexity. Yeah, there you go. So you can use the shader complexity to work out which parts are going to be complicated to render. So these things would be expensive to render. You can see parts in there that are really small, vertices that are doing this sort of refraction index, making it super stupid. Okay, so I would take a look at that and go, okay, we need to optimize this a bit, maybe get rid of the refraction, maybe make it a bit better. Okay, so that's one thing you can look at. But I'll do a full video on performance profiling, looking at CPU usage and all that stuff later on. It's quite involved to go through right now. Ian Duran, how do I use ray tracing on my project if I turn it on when creating it? Does it just do it, or do I have to do stuff? You do have to do stuff, but I don't know what. I've yet to experiment with ray tracing in Unreal. I believe I looked at documentation of this for once. Ray tracing. I probably have to restart if I have to turn it on. I won't bother. It might crash. I won't bother. Yeah, restart. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. I haven't experimented with it. So once you turn it on, the only thing that would need to be settings, I guess, would be the lights themselves. So make sure ray tracing is turned on for each light. Later. Samples per pixel. That's set in there. I say I haven't experimented with it. I need to experiment with the ray tracing, to be honest. I'll get back to you when I experiment with it. Hey Ryan, how would I get a text box to scroll through all of its text and then pause for a couple of seconds at the bottom, then pause again at the top when the scroll restarts? Interesting. I think I have done this before in my item inspection thing. Hang on. Let's just get my Lorem Ipsum. Copy that over from website. Just gonna delete this crap and put this in here. Okay, so there's my Lorem Ipsum. And I'm just going to tell this to buy auto wrap. Where is it? Oh. That should auto wrap that. Why is it not doing that? Set it out. Oh, there we go. Right. Size and X. Right. Scroll box. Whoops. Okay, there's my scroll box. Oh crap. Okay, so it's been a while since I've done this. Hang on. So there's a speed setting for it. Oh, I need to turn it on. So it just comes down to animation. So you could actually do it in animation here. I'd imagine you could anyway. Let's have a look. Put scroll box in there, add a track. Scroll bar. I can't remember which one it is called now. Is it wheel scroll multiplier? No. Which? Can't remember what it's called. Let's have a look. Scroll box. Scroll box. Set scroll offset. That's it. Is that option there? Scroll offset. No. Okay, fine. So you just put in a tick event then. Or you can animate it, I guess, with a timer. I don't know. What would be the best way of doing that? It's a shame it's not on the timeline. It seems like something you would have on it. Yeah, it's definitely not there, is it? No. So you'd have to do it manually through this. I mean, you could do a timeline on it. That's one way of doing it. So construct. Timeline. Oh, you can't do timeline widgets, can you? Balls. It would have to be a tick, wouldn't it? I need to animate a number. How can I animate a number? That doesn't matter. Now, let's go back to chat, see if anyone else is coming up with ideas for this one. Raise oh yeah, so you got it pausing at the, yeah, because that's what I've done, it pausing at the bottom. Get the pause at the top. I mean, you could just put, before it starts again, the thing, you can just put a delay in it before it starts doing a set. But you could do a do once thing. In a delay. It's 2 seconds like that, and then do that. Not do once. What do you want to do? You want to do. Yeah, do once, and then then a sequence. So sequence. Do that. Then do that. So you do your animation stuff like you've done in the tutorial, where to make it scroll on then 1, and then on then 0 you do a do once delay. One way of doing it, I guess. And then when you want it to restart, so when it reaches the end of it and wants to jump back up, you just tell it to reset. They put an event on it or whatever you want to do on it, and it'll reset it. So then it'll do it all again. That'll be the best way of doing it, I think. And yeah, it won't work on every tick because it obviously it do once. So it'll go then 0, do once, will not happen. Then it go to then 1 and carry on. Hopefully that explains bits. No. So scroll to end only does end. It just goes straight to the end. It doesn't do anything. Same with the start. So once you reach the end of this offset, you want to Interview. No. Yeah, so you just do scroll to start, it'll go back to the start instantly, and when that happens, then you just do reset like that. So you do the check to see what the offset is, and once it's offset, then blah blah blah. Hopefully that explains. Probably Gavin. Hi Ryan, been learning for Blender and Substance Suite for making assets, characters, environments for a game. Would you suggest any other software for learning resources for those softwares or Niagara? No, you kind of got it covered there. I mean, there's always loads of software you could muck about with and use, but they're probably the best ones. Hopefully you understand how things like Photoshop and all that work, so that shouldn't be an issue. But yep, that bit should just do just fine. Zimmy Jim, is there a trick to sensing multiple enemy actors with EQS, or do I just give them the same tag in the stimuli source? It's the same tag, yeah. I remember now. Yeah, I think it's just you just give them the same tag. You do a search for either an actor type or a type with an actor with a tag. That'd be the answer to that, I think. Aziz, how to hide custom objects, parts of objects through a transparent wall. Eh? How to hide custom objects, parts of objects through a transparent wall. Okay. I'm trying to think when you would want to do that. But anyway, so if you've got a transparent wall, obviously this is shader related because you're doing stuff with rendering. So a post process of some kind. So you're looking at using stencils. Then you want it to be able to see through it when you look through the wall. How will that work? Oh, I'm trying to think how you'd make it only sharp when you look through it, not when all the time. The only thing I can think of is a line trace, a multi-line trace in through the wall. And if you detect going through the wall, apply the post-process to make it show. That's the only thing I can think of right away. There are two cubes, red and white cube. Both of them are visible. But if you look through the transparent wall, the red cube will not be visible. How can I do it? I think, yeah. Yeah, it would have to, as X Draco says, it'll be a customized depth thing in using post-processing. But the trick would be to, when you look through it, because the way post-processing works is it's either turned on to cover the whole entire map or it's a certain section of it. Now, obviously, you want to see it sometimes, but not all the time. So, you want to... Right, okay. Let's see if we can make it. I've got an idea. Right. Post-process. So, obviously, it'd be a material. But then we'll need a post-process volume, and this thing is gonna be unbound, and will require a material, and we'll use this one. Okay, so a post-process. Let's change the domain to post-process. Okay, so the way this would work is, first of all, let's make two actors. So we've got 1, this would be just a cube. And duplicate that one. So this one we're going to make disappear behind something. So if you go to rendering of the cube, so if I'm yawning, it's quite late. So render custom depth pass, stencil value if you want to do stencils. Stencils if you're going to have different things react differently. We're only going to do one, so we'll leave it as it is. So custom depth pass there. Right, so see, I remember how you do this. So we need to get the scene color. Not scene color. It is, what is it? It is scene texture. Yeah, scene texture. Post process import 0. Input 0 is what you see normally in the world. It's nothing special. Okay, so if I put that in there, this will change to look like normal. Okay. So what we want to do is do basically a check on this. So we'll do an if statement. Like that. If do that, and then that'll be a 3 vector. I don't know. We'll see. And then we'll just do if A is no, not A is B is B. Post process goes on here. Sorry. Scene texture. Post process import 0 there. Then nothing on this one, and then have that there, and then you'd have like a scalar parameter here. Oh. I don't think they do Boolean parameters, do they? Send it ball parameter. There you go. Cool. Okay. So ball parameters. Ball. Static ball. There we go. So if no, oh, so only floats. Okay, we have to do it floats. Okay. Right there. Scalar parameter there. Okay, so if we turn it on, we want it to use if A, right. So by default it's on, so it'll use this one. If it's off and this becomes equal to or greater than or less than, no. If A is, yeah, if it comes equal to or less than this one, the parameter, then it'll use this. So for example, oh, it's a 4 float. Sorry. Okay, so very basic. This is very basic, but so by default it's going to look like normal. But then if I look through a wall and I want it to disappear, you would change. No, because that won't work because it will disappear when you're halfway through the wall, looking for the wall. For example, when you change this here to 1, it'll disappear. Okay, it'll go away. But you want it to see custom depth as well, so you need to have this and custom depth. No, I'm doing it all wrong. It's something to do with this. Can't think off the top of my head right now. I'll continue thinking about it. It's something to do with this though. I'm just the hardest part is like, for example, if the renderer is looking through one material, you won't be able to detect when you're looking through a material, even if it's half through the material. You might have to look at somehow look at every single vertex or pixel. You have to look at every pixel. So how would you do that? It's an interesting problem. Messed up, I should be. I don't have to divide this by something. One of those should be viewable. Maybe because I've got that on, it's broken. I'm not too good at post-processing. So there's custom depth working. There. But then you have to tell it not to render that. I'm not too sure. It's one I'll continue playing with. I know how to make the whole thing disappear, but not like say certain pixels of it through an object. I'll have to play about with that one. I imagine it being quite complicated. Sorry. Levent Tassi. Hi, can you help me please? I added two languages, English and Hungarian, to my game, but it worked only in editor. I selected all in internalization support in packaging, but don't work. I wish I could help you, but I've never done that before. I've never added extra languages in, so I'm not 100% sure. Let's have a quick look. You changed it to all, yeah? Yep, you said all, yeah. I can't help him. I've never done it before, so I cannot give you any advice on that one, I'm afraid. What are you packaging it in, by the way? The event. Are you packaging in like mobile, PC? I don't know what you're packaging. Cerulean73. How can I move an object left and right within an inertia using X and speed method? After I release the key, it should ease and stop in 0.5 seconds. No forces applied, please. Oh, right, okay. So, hang on. I think it's in here. So, you got a few things. So you got acceleration and deceleration somewhere. So if you expand open general settings on your character's movement, are you doing character movement by the way? I don't know are you doing. What are you doing? A character or a actor or pawn? Character, you can do this stuff, deceleration, and mess about with these numbers. A cube. Okay, so I've done something similar before. So you'd want to use lerps. So what's the easiest way for me to show you this? Okay, so right. Okay, so when you've got, let's say for example, you've got move forward going on here. Right. Oh, God. Okay. Let's do the one key. Right. So you need to use lerp. So if you've got F interp 2. Okay, and you get like a new value here. My value, we'll call it, and this will be a float. Current is there, then set is there. Yeah, tick as well. So this will be on a tick, that goes there because it needs to update it all the time. So it'd be a set there. The target will be no. How do we do that? Yeah, I've done it with my spaceship one. So I'll show you my let's see if I can load up my spaceship so you can see what I've done there. I can't remember where I bloody put the thing. I don't think I haven't got it installed. I don't think I have it installed. Oh, I did. I might have cleaned up and got rid of it. Bugger. Okay, so yes, I did it with a tick. Okay. So I did it so that when I pushed, I done it with all mouse. So right, okay. Make a new value here. Target value. I'm guessing you're doing key presses, Cerulean. So target value is going to be set to 1. Target value otherwise going to be set to 0. Target value will get put into target. My value then will try and get to my target using time, delta seconds, and interp speed or something very slow. Let's try doing 1 for example. And we'll print string that so you can see that. And that will be tied to like an X or Y or whatever you want to do. But so if I push 1 on my keyboard, it goes up. And if I let go, it goes down. If it's something that you want to go straight away to 1 when you start, and then it'll ease off when you let go. When you push 1, that's target value to 1. Also set my value to 1. Like that. So then, now when I push 1 key, it changes to 1, and when I let go of it, it drops down. Okay, so that would be equal then to like a coordinate on a character, I guess you could do. So you could do, for example, add movement input here. And the scale value go there. 1 there. So when I push the 1 key, let go, it drifts off. Yeah, for example. Do it again. Oh, I've only got one direction, but you get the gist. So let's go back here. So if I push 1, let go, drifts off. Okay, so that's a way of doing it. You also have options for other F interp. So you got F interp 2, you get ease in and out. Does something very similar, but it has more of a curve on it. This is linear, so it's straight line up. This ease in and out is more curvy, so you get like a much nicer, smoother in and out. I know. Yeah. There you go. You're welcome. I'm glad it worked. Pharaoh Neturu. If you draw a weapon but don't use it in 5 seconds, I want your character to put it away. How would I do that? You could... a few things you could do it. So when you draw the weapon, you set a timer. And every time you shoot the gun, you reset the time back to start. One option. If you get the weapon, if your weapon is out, I think actually the timer method is actually the best way of doing it. I think the timer method. So set a timer and then reset the timer every time. To reset a timer, so when you do set timer by event, for example, and the event would be like put away gun, whatever. You'll have the promotion of the variable here, and then when you want to reset the clock, basically, it is called no, what is it called? Maybe I'm thinking of pause. In that case, you can just clear and validate it and reset it again. Oh no, you just, no, sorry, you don't have to do that. You just do this. You just do this again. So, so when you say you fire the weapon, oh yeah, let's do an example. So there's my shooting script down here. So when I shoot, it's going to reset that timer there, and that event is going to be custom down here. Put away gun, and I'll just make my gun disappear. Set visible. Okay, so after 5 seconds of inactivity, it will put away the gun. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. Okay. But if I shoot again, I want to make it back again. So when I shoot it again, back here, you just make it like if you get the gun back out, for example, whatever. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Shoot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Play animation. Put it away. And then you push the animation again to get it back out, and then it allows you to shoot again. That'd be the best way of doing it, I'd imagine. Algorithmic. How do we usually work out problems when programming? So when I'm working out problems, how do I do it? So by problems, do you mean errors, or like when I'm first trying to work out something? So I want to work out the skill system, for example. How do I work out skill system? Is that what you want to know? Rivo Bakchi. Hey Ryan, just want to say thanks for amazing tutorials. They helped a lot. You're very welcome. David Kimber. Have I worked with Chaos much yet? Does it replace the Destructible Mesh workflow? It does replace the Destructible Mesh workflow, and I have not played around with it much yet. I've had literally no time. I've been swamped. Hey Ryan, thanks for the tutorials, but I need a tree growing system with different models. How do I build this? You having smooth transitions or just like snap transitions? Let me know what you're doing. Algorithmic. When I'm first starting. So when I'm first starting. So when I want to sit down and say work out the skill system, for example, I think about what functions it will need first, and then I want to work out how those functions will be implemented. So for a skill system, I would need to add skills and query skills. So I'd make 2 functions. And when I'm thinking about a system, or program problem, the thing you have to remember about programming, with object-oriented programming, is it's all cause and effect. So what's the cause? What's the effect? Okay. So if I'm trying to work stuff out, I go back to that. And so example of cause and effect, the option we just done here. The cause is when I shoot, stuff happens. The effects are all these things. So plays animation, plays projectile, plays a sound, plays a timer. But then I think about, okay, but what's the next effect, cause, and is that come off of anything? So if something else is making another cause, an effect, way to word it, an effect causes a cause, like you see here, then that'd be a timer or something like that, where I'm going to trigger something else next. And I'll trigger something else next, okay? And then again, cause, effect, and I then think about, again, what functions I need. So if I think I need a query, if I think I need to add, remove, whatever it may be, and then I'll add those in. And then I'll break it down further and think about what parameters I will need. So if I'm going to add, so a query skill, for example, I need to know what skill I'm querying. I also want to know which player I'm looking at. So I need those 2 parameters. Oh, pardon. Yeah. And then I think about, okay, what do I need to get out from that function? And that'd be my return values. And that's kind of it. A lot of it is trial and error as well. Think about, and in which when UI stuff's involved, think about what data needs to be stored and what data needs to be sent along. It does come with practice. Like once you learn the relationship between actors and like widgets and things like that, once you understand that a bit better, you can make the connections a lot quicker. That's all I really do, really. Cause and effect. David Congan. What is my favourite sports game of all time? I'm not a big sports game person. Of all time. Does Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 count? Love that game. It got me into level editing, level making, because of the level editor. I used to make levels in it all the time. That and Time Splitters used to make levels all the time. I think that's what kind of got me into making games and getting interested in making games. So yeah. Fair Naturu, I'm glad that worked. EP Lawless, thanks for all the videos, they've been really valuable. Do you know a good resource? Do you have a video on client prediction reconciliation of multiplayer projectiles? I'm currently making an online multiplayer tutorial. I've filmed 2 episodes so far. A third one should be filmed. I was going to film it tonight, but I won't. I'll do it tomorrow now. So what we'll eventually get into shooting and how you do that. So the thing to always remember is server is king. Okay, server knows all, trusts all. They're the boss. So when a client shoots in a game, what actually happens is they'll shoot at a target, and everything between them pulling the trigger and the target being hit is all client-side effects and so forth. Okay, the server knows when the players shot the trigger on their gun, and they know when the target's been hit. Okay, it's all calculated on the server side. Then it just spits it back to the client side. So it's not so much prediction, is that Unreal's network code will automatically roll back and correct the client. The client is a window into the server, so the server does all the simulation, does all the calculation and things like that, and the client just views the end result of that. So there's that. If you're dealing with a very laggy environment, which is very unlikely nowadays because broadband speeds and network code is quite good, you would have to do rollback coding, which is using buffers, and it gets complicated. How Doom used to do it in Quake and things like that, where the client would shoot and handle all the shooting stuff, and then the server would check that if it was accurate, and if it wasn't accurate, it will reset everything back. But nowadays it's quite quick, so you don't really see that much. But yeah, the client isn't doing any legwork. It's all server. Server's doing everything. The client just sees what they want to see. That's why in some games you can look like you thought you shot the guy in the head, but maybe you didn't, and it comes back as you didn't. That's that reason. But yeah. I mean, you could. It depends on how much data you want to send across as well. You can say, like, just tell the server, hey, I hit the target, that's it. Or you can say, I hit the target in the head, hit him in the arm, and then the server will do all that calculation stuff and report back, oh, you did hit him in the arm, yes you did, no you didn't, blah blah blah. Again, we'll be covering that in our series, but the main thing to remember is the client's not predicting anything. They just do it, and the server just tells them the result. So you could make it so that the client's shot, trajectory, effects, all that are their side of things, but the damage output and the actual hit itself is actually done by the server, and that responds back to the client. I guess I've said enough on that. We'll go on for another 10 minutes or 5 minutes. So it's getting towards the end now. But again, if you want to see this weekly, this sort of chat session where you come in and ask anything you want, sign up to Patreon. I think we're 15 people away, so if you hit up that, or just $1, you get loads of videos, like 30 plus videos, including a crafting system, the start of the skill unlocking system, as well as the start of online, which is starting soon, the FPS RPG series, which has got about I think it's 5 videos up now on Patreon, but there's another 5 coming. They're already done. I've got to just upload them. Plus many other one-off videos like teleportation and things like that. So check it out. You get a load of benefits for it, and you help me out massively. So if we hit 400, I can convince the wife to let me do this twice a week. So help us out. Oh, well, we've got a lull. I'm going to have a little sip of drink. Whilst I was setting up, I did notice a few questions coming through in the chat. Let me just scroll back and have a look at them. Surian. Oh, I see Surian asked, do you give private lessons one-on-one? I do. And I'm currently free. I'm actually available for private one-to-ones if anyone wants them. Just message me, email me, and I'll explain how I can help, if I can help, and costs and things like that. But I have done one-to-ones before. Just recently done one last weekend. I finished off meet one-to-ones with someone last week for a game they're working on for I can't say what, but they're working on stuff. Kim, yeah, we can do some checks and chats with that. If you, I won't be able to do it tonight, but message me on the Patreon, mate, and we'll have a look and give you some feedback. Pharaoh Naturu, sprinting can definitely be done in multiplayer. If and time slowing, you can't do time slowing. At least not local time slowing. You can do global, but not. But you can definitely do sprinting. Not a problem whatsoever. I can probably even load it up for you and show you that you can do it. It's a sneak peek of online, I guess. Loading up. To explain time slowing a bit better, you can do it globally, so it affects everyone, but you can't do it for individuals. So if you want like a cool like slow motion shot when you kill another player in the game, but everyone else carry on as they are, you can't do that because otherwise you'll look like another player watching you from far off would see you just moving in slow motion. It'll look really weird and dumb. Or the alternative is that everyone slows down at that same time. Again, would look really dumb and be really annoying. So that's why you wouldn't do it. So this is the online multiplayer tutorial. I'm not going to explain too much of it, but I'll show you the sprinting stuff. Got two, yeah. There's 3-player. Oh. I think my Unreal's crashed. It did crash. Okay. And the music stopped as well. As the stream stopped. I don't know if you guys can still hear me. It says the stream is still on, but I think the video has cracked. As the screen frozen for you? Yeah, it's all gone tits up. It just didn't want me to show you anything. Ugh. Okay. I think it's because I tried doing too much weird stuff with the screens on it. But yes, you can definitely do sprinting. Yeah. I should actually show how to do sprinting in the first episode of online multiplayer tutorial. That's one of the first things I show. So the first episode, the way online multiplayer tutorial series will work is the first half of the series focuses on explaining how online multiplayer works. The second half we're going to do like how you do lobbies and connecting to people and things like that. And then we'll go into gameplay specific things. But in the start we talk about replication and show how to do replicated for sprinting. Then we go into like how you do doors and do relevancy and things like that. Do rep notifiers, all that stuff. At least you guys can hear me. I think the graphics card didn't like me doing something, so it just crapped out. But anywho, I think we'll take that as a sign to end it off for tonight. So thank you everyone for stopping by and asking your questions. If you didn't get your question answered, I'm so sorry. But maybe next time. In about 4 weeks' time, unless we hit our Patreon goal, then we'll obviously see that a lot sooner. Things to look out for this week. So we've just finished the big one, the Making My First Game series. That is now finished. If you haven't seen it yet, there are challenges in the final episode. In the final episode, I set you 3 challenges to see if you can do them and adding to your game. And Keep an eye out for more content coming out each week. I think you guys will get, I think crafting maybe next week publicly. I can't remember now. I think you get crafting next week on YouTube. Patrons will continue to get FPS RPG, get online multiplayer, get skill system, plus many other little one-offs as well. What else can we look forward to? Live stream again next Saturday. We'll do Smash TV code stuff. Factory simulation stuff. We're gonna do that because it went tits up during last week's live stream. So I'm gonna make a little series on how to do factory sim stuff, like Satisfactory and all that stuff there. But yeah, I think that's it. We're gonna end it there. Thank you everyone for stopping by, and apologies for the stupid camera breaking and screen breaking, all that. Just the graphics card did not like me messing about with multiple screens. It was freaking out. So anyway, thank you everyone, and oh hello Crazy Crow, Crazy Crow. Sorry, not cow, Crow. I'm very good, thank you. It's very hot here. Anyway, have a good one everyone, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.